All right, guys, let's waste no time. Let's jump into our first topic. We got to talk about something I think that didn't really get talked about too much. It kind of slid under everyone's radar. This is the Hot Toys Armorized Deadpool.
Hmm.
And maybe there's a reason this slid under everyone's radar because no one really seemed to care that much. But maybe it's one of those things that it's like, okay, this is more popular in Asia. It's not as much of a US thing. Maybe that's why they made it. But Ryan, I want to start with you on this one. With this Armorized Deadpool, what do you think about it overall? And, is this something you would consider adding to your collection?
Well, no, won't be adding to my collection at all. Just
Mhm.
because it's a cool piece. I mean, when this came out, same thing. It kind of fell under the radar. It's weird because it's almost like it reminds me that they're trying to kind of milk the whole armorized Iron Man, thing because we have the Punisher, and we also, the Doctor Strange is going to be still that's on order still. That's supposed to be coming out. That what was it from Infinity
Oh,
War?
yeah,
That
the
concept
Iron
armor.
Strange.
So that's like
Yeah.
another armorized version, if you want to call it that. So I
Mhm.
mean, it's cool if you're a Deadpool. I have a couple of buddies who got it who are really looking forward to it, to kind of putting it together with their Deadpool, like their zombie Deadpool and the regular Deadpool, to kind of make a little like a little setup with it. But I mean, it's not for me. It doesn't really fit in the collection. I mean, I'm not really a whole fan. The only one that intrigued me was the Punisher one, but not enough to buy it. But I mean, it's a cool piece, but I don't really see it, blowing the doors off anywhere personally. But I mean, it's cool, but that's pretty much it.
I think Ryan, that's going to be the common sentiment. I think a lot of people. I do see Loco Lou in the chat, by the way, saying this is a must-have for him. I should know.
There you go.
This is right up Loco Lou's alley. But I think Ryan, your sentiment is going to be pretty common. I think among this panel and probably in just the community. Like it's a one where it's like it looks cool, but it's not for me. I think that's going to be what happens. But Carlos, are you going to continue this line, bro? Are you going to, continue the line of it's cool but not for me? What are your thoughts?
No, I think if you're a pretty cool collector, you're gonna have this. Clearly, Ryan doesn't belong in that group. You
Yeah, is
know,
that what it
Already
is?
disagreed on the first topic. Already disagreed.
yeah, there
Carlos
you
doesn't
go.
want
No,
this.
no.
Don't let him lie to you, bro. He
No,
doesn't
no,
want
no.
this.
I think this is really cool, man. It's like the Punisher War Machine. It's a cool piece. It's unique. It looks awesome. It's gonna look great on someone's collection. I may eventually like buy it way down the line because it is probably during those times where like everybody was collecting pre-orders. Everybody was just being mass produced, and that's what this is going to be. Whatever War Machine Punisher is going for, this is probably going to go for that or even lower. So I had a War Machine Punisher. It looked really cool, and after a week, I was like, all right, let's sell this fucker. This is going to be the same thing here. Like, I'm going to have him. He's going to
Claim
be
it
like,
on your
all right,
taxes.
claim it on my taxes. Let's sell this guy. But I will eventually own him just to look at it and have it. But it won't be something that stays with me long term. Not at all. Like everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone in this panel, it's cool. It looks great. It's gonna look great for like Loco Lou and others like him, but not for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. But it does have a cool color scheme, Carlos. I do kind of like it. Like it is unique, and
It
I
looks
could see
dope.
this being real popular in Asia.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's very what's the word you like to toyetic? Is that what it is?
Toyetic, yeah. I always forget that word, but yes. But
Yeah,
because
that
I talked to Brian Wong from Module Case today, and he was telling me, which we kind of already knew, like in Asia, everything that's sort of mech, like robotics, sells really well. So like Transformers, Iron Man, like he even has a bunch of Iron Man and like this type of stuff. So I think this is not clearly for us. This is for another market.
I mean, I think it looks really cool though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it's
Right. It does.
it's exactly the like Hot Toys being creative and bringing us something that deals with Iron Man and introducing Deadpool. So like I said, it's cool. It's just maybe the wrong demographic, like you mentioned.
Right. Yeah. So Aries, I know you don't venture outside of Star Wars too often, but what are your general thoughts about this, man?
I really like this thing, to be completely honest with you. Like,
Mhm.
this is very toyetic,
Mhm.
as you put it. And, as a kid, I would absolutely freaking lose my mind over this. I mean,
That's
it's
what it looks,
very,
yeah.
it is freaking sleek. It's cool. It's like having that hot car. It's got the die cast things going on. I was checking out all the pictures this week and even before the show on this, and I'll tell you, if I got if I just stumbled across this or it was given to me for free or something, you would think, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just sell it. I don't know. I probably would keep it and probably start getting into some of the other mech figures, maybe the Iron Man figures. I mean, it's it's really cool. It doesn't have a head sculpt. It's toyetic. It has that whole mech kind of vibe like you're talking about there. But it's pretty sleek and badass, Will, just being honest. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I would kind of like just, hold it in my hands and start posing it and start playing with it and whatnot. I think it's a pretty cool piece. So yes, I'm not going to go run out and buy it, but it catches my eye, and I think it's a really good release for sure. So I don't know. Nice job by them. And what is it, $400?
Yeah, about $405. Yeah.
About $405. I'm sure it's pretty heavy in hand. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it is too, Aries. And I think that, like I said, that's going to be the common sentiment. I'm just noticing now, too, the exclusive one on Sideshow is already waitlisted. You can only get the collector's edition one. So that's pretty interesting. So, but I think
that was
was it a time?
That was because it was a time thing. Yeah, you're just not that well informed as a collector. But yeah, it was just a time.
Was it really timed? I always forget about those because they seem to like do those and they stopped doing them. They did them
it was timed. It was because this was an exclusive during it was during the summer exclusive. So
gotcha. Okay, that's why they did it. Yeah. Okay, but I'm with you guys. I think this looks pretty cool, and I'm interested to hear Lael's thoughts because this is actually labeled as a comics masterpiece. So I don't know if Lael's going to go for this because it's comic related. Lael, what do you think?
I say yes.
Not at all.
Oh, damn. You were wrong, Carlos.
Damn.
Not at all. I'm definitely not going for it. I mean, it's here's the thing. It's always something for everybody. And this is something for everybody. Like people like Lou, who has a shrine dedicated to their Deadpool. This is going to work for, even though it is based off of not only just a comic book, but also the game as well. Yeah, it's not something I'm actually going to get because aesthetically it doesn't fit what I'm going for. I'm looking for a bit more realism in my collection. What I mean by that is just something that just kind of fits the scheme of what I'm going for when it comes to the narrative. This is just completely out of the box. We already know Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, but breaking the fourth wall, my collection is not going to make sense. So I'm definitely not going to get it, but it's just not to take away from the simple fact that it looks good. It looks good. It looks like a decent piece. The only thing about this is the eyes. Unless you have that lit all the time, it's not going to look that great. If you have a secondary head sculpt, if you have Deadpool, if you have a Deadpool that's laying around that you don't use, you can always pop off the head from that particular version, pop it on here. To have a unhelmeted version of the armor, unhelmeted armor version, put it that way. All the accessories that come with it's pretty good. It does look great, but for me, it's just not going to work. I looked at it just after looking at everything. It's even if it goes on sale, but here's the thing is because there's far too much out there right now that takes up precedence. It's priority over this. You know what I mean? That I'm looking at and that I want. And especially with the holiday season right now, with everything that's going on, is just like, you have to prioritize. And this is definitely not a priority for me, but I know it's going to be a priority for a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be if it was I was gonna say if this was an Armorized Gen Urso layout,
I probably wouldn't do it because it doesn't make, to me, it just doesn't. Here's the thing, and I know it's for something. I know basically they're basing it off something, but it's just for me, it's like there's more out there that was of more importance than this. You know what I mean? It's not, to do that is just like a gimmick for me. You know what I mean? And it's just like not where I'm at, even though I know that it does come from the comics. There is references to it. It's just too much of a gimmick, and it's just me. Hot Toys is saying, okay, let's capitalize off of something that's already out there. Let's push the button. We know that people, and it's for their market. They're clearly going off of their market, but it's just like, nah, I'm good. The thing is, it's like, especially when it comes to armorized versions of things. I mean, I'm very selective about armor. I'm very selective about Iron Man armor. I think the last piece that I got, and that's just because Toy is getting it for me for the holidays, for Christmas. I already wanted it, which Mark was 1? That, the Mark 1 War Machine. And that's it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But, other than that, I'm just not into this, man. I'm really, really not. I mean, and what takes up more precedence for me than this, is that Mech Tech Iron Man, that Mech Tech Tony Stark. That's dope. And because it's aesthetically great, I can imagine having that piece with Pepper Potts. If you have that, that half piece, that half that armorized, I think it's like, I forget what they call it, where it's just the torso version.
The Mark III construction.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah,
III
that's
construction. If you have that, that's a nice little setup. But for me, it's just not going to work for
Makes
me.
sense.
Like, it's really not.
Makes
You know
sense.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
makes sense, man. It absolutely. But hey, if they make an armorized Pennywise, then armorized Loki, hey, you got my attention.
You would really do it?
Probably not. But it would be really funny, Leo. I don't think they would ever make an armorized Pennywise, but that would be really fucking hilarious. That
You know
would
what
be
this
really funny.
reminds me of, bro? Like, literally, when I look at stuff like this reminds me of being at a con and watching somebody cosplay as an armored version
really
of it.
That's fair.
Because that's what they did, like,
Yeah.
pretty much all through New York Comic Con. There were different versions of the Mandalorian. Like, they had like a armorized Mando. They had like a tuxedo version of a Mando. Like, there was just so many different Mando versions out there, and they were capitalizing on that, and it was very good to watch, pleasing to watch in person. Like, I would dig taking pictures of this in person if somebody did this, but to have it as a figure, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think this just came out at the wrong time. Like if it would have came out like during a time when maybe year, 2 years from now or something, where like the economy was a little bit better, they weren't so backed up, and money can be floating around a little bit easier, then people would be like, yeah, why not? But when things aren't as good now, it's like you said, layout, like, it's just not an important piece right now to go after.
No,
Yeah,
at least for
not
most.
essential.
For most, not for everyone. Right,
definitely not for everybody, but eventually, I mean, but that's not taken away from the aesthetics. It's a great looking piece,
right.
Like, it really will look. So in some sense, you know what it reminds me of, and this is not a slight against the figure, but when you actually, Mr. Mom, follow me here. When you basically purchase a what is it, a Marvel Legends figure, and each of them have different pieces that come with it, or a figure. Certain things they have different pieces that you build a big, that's what it sort of reminds me of. Like, when you get all the pieces, you can form this. You know what I mean?
I just think this is one of those figures where you can count them. There's a few of them that are just going to fall through the cracks in terms of just not, like I said, I don't know. I'm just like the Punisher Wars, although that was a pretty good seller. Everyone bought that one.
I love that. That version I loved, but
it was really good. But like, but I keep thinking like the Doctor Strange one, like I said, from Infinity War. That one looks really cool, like the Mark 50 with like his his effects and everything. I wouldn't personally spend $400+ on it. I'd rather buy something else that's curated to my collection. But that's another figure that looks really cool. But I think it's another one that might fall through the cracks when it decides to come out.
Yeah. But I guess you could say like that one's like a comic concept. This didn't even appear anywhere. You know what I mean?
I just think it's right timing for it, and it's a selected market of who's going to buy it. That's
I think they were just like, hey, we want to make more Iron Man, we want to make more Deadpool, and let's see what we can do here and put them together.
If the new Deadpool movie came out with Hugh Jackman, like down the road, like when it comes out, and this came out around
Armorized Wolverine.
There you go.
Dude, I mean, that honestly, Ryan, that's not a bad idea. Like, they could do a funny sort of gag like that. They could put Deadpool in like an Iron Man suit as a joke or something. Like, I think, maybe that'll happen. And then Hot Toys will be salivating. They'll be like, oh my God, we get to make another Deadpool and an Iron Man. So, yeah, but okay, guys. Well, great thoughts on that Armorized Deadpool.